We're here in Farmley today for a really important announcement of the 2023 thematic call, which is an allocation of €22.3 million from my research budget in the department to fund 21 different research projects that are looking at a wide range of challenges in our food production and our agricultural system, and lots of solutions to come up with them as well. We're the third biggest funder of research across all state departments, which I think a lot of farmers and a lot of consumers will be surprised at. But we are investing heavily in a range of solutions to problems that are across the bioeconomy, taking waste products or perceived waste products and how they can be used and utilised into the future. Obviously the area of climate and environment, we see today the EPA figures showing farmers have again delivered a reduction in our emissions profile while continuing to produce top quality food that we do. So about 40% of this funding goes towards some of those future challenges around climate and the environment. Research tends to be slow because what you first of all do is you have a couple of years of researchers delving into an issue, coming up with solutions. And then when you get those results, you need to get widespread adoption of them. So I think a really good example is the likes of multi-species swards. My department invested very heavily in research in the area of multi-species swards back about 8-10 years ago. And we are now seeing not only the results of that research, but the widespread adoption of farmers with that, largely driven by the increased cost of fertilizer in recent years. But we now see that there's no farmer doing reseeding that isn't incorporating in multi-species swards, clover and the rest. That came out of direct investment in research.
I'm a co-I on this project 00, which is led by James Humphreys in Teagasc. So the project is aiming to look at how we can produce grass or support dairy systems with zero fertilizer nitrogen and with zero herbicides. So this project follows on from previous projects that James Humphreys has coordinated, which have proven that you can actually manage quite an intensive dairy system with zero fertilizer nitrogen application if you're able to manage the grass clover swords. So getting the clover in fixes biological nitrogen into the system and it avoids the need for synthetic fertilizer. In the grass swords, and the clover fixes the nitrogen from the atmosphere, so that replaces fertilizer nitrogen, and it's been proven that those systems can produce milk with a carbon footprint and an ammonia footprint about 25% lower than conventional systems. One of the challenges is how do we manage those systems without herbicide, because we often have to apply herbicide in order to re-establish the grass clover periodically through resowing. We've got to understand how we can manage the grass clover swords with intensive grazing on the one hand and for silage production on the other hand. So the project effectively is going to look at these different combinations of farm management with zero nitrogen and with zero herbicide application. And this is going to be important just to demonstrate to a wider variety of farmers how this can be done.
I'm a research officer in measuring and modelling carbon emissions and sequestration with Teagasc and Johnstown Castle. And I'm the project coordinator on the recently funded by DAFM project CAMS, which is carbon sequestration and agricultural soils, land use and management. So CAMS will utilise the NASCA, the National Agricultural Soil Carbon Observatory infrastructure, which is also funded by DAFM as part of the Teagasc Climate Centre. NASCO essentially consists of 28 flux towers. What we want to do with CAMS is to really utilise and make the most of that infrastructure by taking NASCO sites which are on different agricultural soils, land uses and managements, and taking those measurements of carbon uptake and release from the towers and working up that data into something that is usable for the national inventory for refining the information that's in that, that's representative of Irish farming landscapes.